Yo, Alec here. Not set tens of thousands of dollars with high ticket sales, setting appointments for online influencers, selling mentorships, masterminds, and today I'm going to be breaking down step by step the setting call. This one we're going to be using by Harry from the Enterprise. I'll have all the socials linked down below, but I just think this one is perfect for explaining the actual goals of the set call, exactly how you can execute it in the best way possible. Starting off in the call, the goal of the introduction stage is just to lower the sales resistance and set the frame on the setting call. So use the curious tones and make sure you ask them. So if their name's Daryl, you just go ahead and say, "Hey, Daryl." Use curious tones. You know what I'm saying? Like you genuinely care about helping them, or else they're not going to take you serious. So yeah, usually it's, for example, this is just a framework, but you say something like this: "Hey, Daryl." "Yeah, Daryl, this is just Alec from Lucas's team. I saw you put out some information about getting some possible outside help with reselling. Is that right?" And then he should tell you, "Yeah, man, I actually did." And then that's when you say, "Okay, nice." So yeah, I just wanted to like kind of give you a quick call to check out what actually had you interested in filling out that information and potentially getting you some help. So yeah, after that question, he should give you some type of problem, and that leads you to the problem stage. So the goal here is to find the prospect's problem, and then you want to dive deeper on the pain of that problem. So get his current situation. This is the goal. You want to figure out his problem. So you want to figure out his current situation because you need to understand his situation so you can help his situation. So you want to ask him, "Yeah, so like, what are you doing for work right now?" And if it's a trading mentorship or if it's a fitness offer, you'd be like, "Are you currently trading at the moment? Or are you currently working out? Or like, what are you doing for work right now? What are you doing for a living?" Get his current situation, figure out how long he's been doing his current stuff. So be like, "Yeah, like I've been trading for a little bit, but like I've been running it this way, not really like seeing the results I want to see." But mainly you want to ask him these three questions: what are you doing for work? How long he's been doing that? And does he enjoy it? So you ask him, "Yeah, what are you doing for work right now?" He's like, I'm doing a little bit of 9 to 5 and I'm also trading." "Okay, and how long have you been doing that for?" "The 9 to 5 and like trading." "Yeah, I've been doing it for like 5 months now." "Okay, and just be honest with me, man. Like, do you enjoy what you're doing right now?" And then he's gonna either say yes or no. Most likely he's on this call for a reason, right? He's not happy with where he's at. So he's gonna say no. So then you're gonna be like, "Okay, well, what do you mean by XYZ problem?" So he'll probably be like, "Yeah, no, I'm not happy. I just feel like kind of like tired and worn out." So then you'd be like, "Okay, look, well, how do you mean by tired and worn out?" Then he's going to let you know a little bit more about his pain. The longer you can have him talk about his pain and digest, have him confess with his own mouth that he's not in the situation where he wants to be in, the better and more likely he is to close on a closing call. So yeah, make him understand, make him talk about his pain, get the type of impact it's had on him. So you want to ask him like, "Yeah, so for the past 6 months, what type of impact has it had on you dealing with trying to find money, being lost inside and not having the right systems in order to get to the point where you're making 20, 50K per month? Like what type of impact has that had on you personally?" And then he should talk to you about it. After you get that, you get his pain, you get where he's at, you want to figure out his goals. Get his desired outcome because this is going to be fuel for the closer. So you want to ask him like, "So yeah, like what do you want to achieve with after learning the advanced skill set of trading? Like what are your goals here, man?" And he's going to say, "Yeah, I just want 50K a month. I just want to make more money." Sometimes basically don't take a like open-ended answer like I just want to make a little bit more money. I don't know. I just want to like get into it. Like you want to get deep on a goal. Get a tangible goal that is super specific. And you want to mainly focus on emotional stuff too. So if he says like, "Yeah, I just want to make some more money," or he says, "Yeah, I want to make more money and my mom's like having problems in the hospital. I need to fund her surgery." Which one's going to be more effective in terms of getting him on a sales call? Exactly. The money for the surgery. So then you want to frame it on like the type of pain. So if he's going to tell you like, "I want to make money," okay, why do you want to make money? Everyone wants to make money, but what would that look like for you personally? And how important is it for you to actually hit that? Okay, describe how does that like everyone wants to make money, but like what does that look like for you? Like have him talk about the desired outcome and him actually living that. So then it hits hard when you ask him, "Okay, boom, how do you feel about not being there?" What you need to understand is you don't want to take surface level answers like "I want to make more money," and you want to get a good goal. And then ask them, have them talk about why it's important. Next, financially qualify. If you're talking to him, you kind of have a decent brain on you. You should be able to understand, okay, if he's like not a squeaker kid, he has a job, he's qualified, you should be able to understand, okay, at a certain time, it's a time to financially qualify, see if he actually has the money to be on the closing call. So there's a couple of ways you can go about doing this. Obviously, use the knowledge throughout the call, such as like what they do for work, their income, and all the stuff they provide. But ask them this. Hypothetically, man, you always want to frame the qualifying question. This is called the qualifying question. And no matter what type of setting call, what type of setting script you use, you're always going to have to ask them a qualifying question. But when you ask them this qualifying question, you want to frame it as if you're getting him to this point. Hypothetically, if you can get him to this point, which is going to be where he's at now to his goals, if you can get him there, if everything looks good, obviously on his end, how much does he have to invest into himself? And like I said, at the moment, stress at the moment, in this moment, or say now, because at the end of the day, if they don't have the money at the moment, we can't work with them. They don't have the money. So at the end of the day, if they're not qualified, they're not qualified. But you're going to have to ask them this qualified question, and this is how I go about it. So yeah, man, hypothetically speaking, if you felt well with you and could get you to the point where you are financially free, you're helping your mom pay for that surgery, you have that M4 dream car you're talking about earlier, and if you'd mastered the skill of trading, obviously to get all those systems and to get that help, there is some startup capital involved there. So what do you feel like you have at the moment set aside to invest into being able to achieve that financial stability and that XYZ goal that they explain? There's many ways to ask that, but that's how we ask it. I know a lot of people say, so hypothetically speaking, if we could get you to the point to where you're making 10, 15K XYZ goal per month, obviously there's some sort of capital required to work with blank's name. So if everything looked good, how much do you have to invest into your skill sets? Or something like that. But yeah, there's plenty of ways to go about doing it. I know a lot of people say, obviously, working with blank and blank's name, there's going to be some startup capital required there. So how much do you have that's comfortable that you're willing to invest into blank or getting the help you need? So yeah, there's a lot of ways to ask that, but you really need to just make sure that you're confident when you're saying it. You're speaking maybe a little bit slower, a little bit clearer, letting them know like, hey, this is an important question. Like, hypothetically speaking, if you felt what we can do to get you to the point where you're being successful, getting to the money you want to make, and if you'd mastered the skill of blank, obviously there's startup capital required for us to help you. So in this moment, what do you feel you have set aside to invest into being able to achieve XYZ goal? And that should be able to open it up. If he has the money, then you want to get him to the next part of the framework. But yeah, next part is really just setting the appointment. So this is kind of like not talked about too often. But when you're setting the appointment, you have to obviously get their time zone. You have to get a time they're available. It's two things, but people want to make it super complicated. All you got to do is ask them on this qualifying question, like, so yeah, I can't really do anything at this moment, but what time would you be settled in at your desk ready to meet with blank and blank's name or top coach on the team to kind of go over XYZ goal? Or ask them, if they have the money, get their mind off of the money right away. Be like, okay, so what do you know about our business model so far in terms of how it works and how you make money? He's going to say what he knows, and then he'd be like, okay, so with all that being said, what do you feel like you need the most help in? And then boom, he's going to let you know what he needs the most help in. And then you frame it, okay, well, I can't really do anything right this second. But in terms of how I'd go about helping you solve XYZ goal, the next step is to hop on a call with the top coach on the team so that he can actually go about showing you, giving you the clarity on how you'd go about doing so. So yeah, what time is it for you right now? And that's an easy way to get their time. They'll be like, okay, I'm this time. All right, nice, man. So yeah, we actually have a couple spots. Even if you have the whole calendar filled up, just give them times. Be like, okay, so yeah, we actually have a couple spots for 6:30 and 7. Which one's going to be working best for you to be kind of settled in at your desk, ready to meet with the coach to go over how we're going to get you to XYZ goal? 7. Okay, nice, man. So yeah, I'm going to send you a meeting link at XYZ time. Just go ahead and click that link, and you'll see the top coach blank's name inside and, post-call protocol. But yeah, another thing that you want to say right before you wrap it up, want to get his age, make sure his parents aren't controlling his bank account. And then you also want to make sure that the pre-call material is set. So with offers that do decently well, they have pre-call material. So it's basically like homework for them to sign up, look at before their call, before the meeting with blank and blank's name, closer. So yeah, this is how you frame the pre-call material. And you want to stress it like your friend. So you'd be like this. Okay, I'm going to get in touch with blank influencer. And if everything looks good, I'll go ahead and set you up in a group chat with the top coach who will be helping you out at blank time, me and you. Inside that group chat, I'll go ahead and send you some pre-call material. I know you're busy, like a lot of people are busy, but I know you said you're trying to get to XYZ goal. So when you and the top coach blank go over how you're going to do that, it's just going to be super important that you check it out. Okay, man? Is that fair? And he's going to be like, okay, yeah, it's fair. Great. Well, if you have any other questions or something crazy drastic happens, then you can contact me here. But other than that, we'll see you at blank and blank time. And then he'd be like, okay, nice. Okay, nice, brother. See you. End of the call. So yeah, that's setting 101. I'm going to have this framework inside of my Discord down below, or I'll just have it in the description. If you want to be placed, learn sales from me, placed on an offer that's doing good, apply in the description or on my Instagram to work one-on-one with me. And yeah, if you're ready, then we can get things going. But other than that, free sauce posted all the time. We're going to get to it. But yeah, hopefully that kind of wrapped things up, showed you exactly how setting works, explained the questions and answers that you're trying to get. Because, it's not really about saying it word for word. It's about understanding what type of answers that you need in order to give the closer the ammo that they need to close the deal. So hopefully this helped, and digest it, understand what you need to do to not get fired on your first offer, and start printing cash. Let's get it.